One of the reasons you started freelancing is because you genuinely want to help people and make a difference in their lives. You want to make your clients happy and put a bow on it, which is free mama talk for over delivering and exceeding people's expectations. Except, when does it end? If your people pleasing ways have started sucking the joy out of your self-employment, this video is for you. The good news is not only will I teach you how to say no, you'll even feel good doing it. And don't go anywhere, because at the end of this video, I'm giving you access to my free 60-minute training where I break down the freedom framework that will help you grow your business quickly with clients who love to pay you. Hey there, Lauren Golden here with a new episode of Free Mama TV, showing moms like you how to start and run a successful freelancing business from home. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new episode of Free Mama TV right here each and every Tuesday. Okay, back in 2014-15, around the time I started freelancing as a side gig, I was also working a full-time job, had 2 kids, 2 and under. I sat on 2 not-for-profit boards, and I was still phasing out of my wedding planning business. I spent a lot of late nights complaining to my husband about my lack of control over how I spent my time.
I'm so busy. I never have time for myself.
He looked at me like I was crazy, and then, as gently as he could, pointed out the very obvious truth that I had been completely blind to. I had done it to myself. I love being involved. I love knowing people can count on me. If someone wanted something done, they knew they could come to me, and I would not only say yes, but I'd blow them away. The problem was that I was doing all of this at my own expense. You've probably heard the saying that every time you say yes to something, you're saying no to something else. And the something else was my sanity. I remember making a list one night of all the things I was involved in. And when I filled a sheet of paper, I knew that my yes, people-pleasing ways had to change. In fact, when my family relocated the following year, I actually remember a second conversation with my husband where I looked at him and said, "Things are going to be different here. I am going to be different. I'm going to be a totally different person." And I was. I set my priorities on myself, my family, and my business. And anything that didn't directly and significantly impact and improve those 3 things was a no. And here's what's remarkable. I didn't even feel badly about it at all. And here's what else is amazing. You too can create boundaries by saying no to people. And it's not as hard as you think. But before we dive into all of this, tell me, have you ever said yes to a client and then regretted it later on? What happened? What did you learn? Tell me down in the comments below. I think there's a misconception among people pleasers that saying no is rude or disappointing to the other person, and will therefore negatively impact our relationship with that person. It's important to acknowledge that not all no's are created equally. So let's break them down. There's the no, not yet, as in it's not the right time, or I just don't have enough information to say yes. There's the no, not right now, as in it's just not a top priority for me at this point in time. Then there's the no, not ever, as in I'm not interested in this thing whatsoever, and it's a hard boundary for me. Before we're able to say no without feeling guilty, we need to be able to identify 2 things. The first is, what are my priorities and boundaries right now? And the second is, which type of no is this, and how can we clearly communicate that and still deliver value to the person? Let's start with the first, priorities and boundaries. I can put boundaries into a few different categories. There's time boundaries, physical boundaries, and emotional boundaries. And we use them to express and respect our needs when relating to others. In this case, your clients. Your priorities or core values will dictate your boundaries. And if you don't take the time to identify and define them, you don't have any sort of filter through which to run the requests you're getting from other people. When can your clients contact you? How can they contact you? What are any possible exceptions to this? How will you communicate deadlines? How will you learn their expectations for a job well done so that you can reasonably deliver or over deliver? Once you've defined your boundaries, upholding them becomes a matter of self-respect. But if you're still worried about letting people down and you're used to putting others before yourself, this could still be tricky, which brings me to point number 2. Clearly tell them no and still provide value. The reason a lot of us feel badly saying no is because we genuinely care and want to be able to help other people. But what if I told you that you could offer tremendous value while still maintaining your boundaries? It's true. Let's take a look. Let's say someone sends you a DM asking for free advice. You can say that you're unable to help everyone who reaches out through your direct messages, but you'd be happy to hop on a paid call. Or you could point them to an affiliate link for a course that you took to learn what you know. Or you could refer a business coach you recommend. Let's say a client asks you to do a project and they want it by the end of the day today. You can let them know the scope of the project is large and ask which other responsibilities would need to be dropped in order for you to fulfill their request. Or you can let them know that their deadline will not work, but suggest an alternative deadline that would work. Or you can recommend a different freelancer who may be able to complete the project in time. Let's say a prospective client asks you to do work that isn't in alignment with your business. You can refer a fellow freelancer, or you can subcontract the work, or you can recommend a Facebook group where they may be able to find support on that request. Our no's can be firm, but still helpful. When we say things like, I wish I could, when you really mean, no, it's out of my boundaries, you're actually inviting a follow-up. A firm response is significant for not wasting both of your time with pushback. Here's a pro tip for you. The times I've most regretted saying yes had less to do with the commitment itself and more to do with the time constraints I got myself into. Maybe it's a deadline that will cause me to make significant sacrifices to my schedule or sleep habits, for example. Before you respond to a request, give yourself pause by practicing this phrase. I'm going to need a moment to check on this, but I'll get back to you soon with my answer. Create some space so that you can work out whether or not it's a true no. And now you know how to create boundaries by saying no to people in your freelancing business, and you don't even have to feel badly about it. If you're newer to freelancing and are looking for help getting started the right way, you'll love my free training. You'll discover my freedom framework, already used by thousands of women who have traded in their 9-to-5 bosses for dream clients who respect their boundaries. You can find the link to that training down below this video. If you want to join a community of boundary-loving mamas just like you, I have a Facebook group where thousands of us come together for support and action-taking tips and motivation. And if you liked this video, please let me know by liking it below, subscribe and share it with your fellow mamas, and comment below with hashtag I am a free mama if you are ready to say no. Oh my gosh. Sorry, my phone rang. Dang it. I thought I was being all like, burp, burp. Nope, messed it up. I'm so sorry.